3 days since unspeakable tragedy struck Wayanad. The scale of destruction is just growing bigger by the day. Kerala is reeling from the tragedy as people count their losses. Death and destruction can be seen all across Wayanad district. The rescue operation continues on a war footing even as death toll is mounting and has now reached 338. Rains and challenging terrain have both added to difficulty, hampering rescue and relief efforts in multiple areas. But with the combined efforts of several agencies, progress is now being made slowly and steadily, as fast as feasible. Times Now has been closely tracking the rescue efforts, and we've also tried to get a sense of how and where the landslide originated.
I'm standing here in Mundukai. We were just, of course, bringing our viewers all these extensive reports about the bridge that was built by the army, about the efforts that have been undertaken in the area that was the most hit. I'm right now in that area. Nothing really remains here. Few buildings managed to survive, that too partially. Now, these earth movers, these heavy equipment that you're looking at, is able to come in here because of the bridge that was built earlier. I'm going to ask my video journalist now to, of course, try and show you all around as rescue efforts continue from various teams. The army is operating here, the NDRF is operating here, the fire personnel are operating here. What you get to see right now is just, massive, large-scale destruction. And this is destruction to an extent that one cannot really fathom, considering the fact that, entire houses right now are under the rubble. Some of these, of course, have been partially destroyed. These are a little elevated. You see a mosque there that is partially destroyed, a church there on top right next to it which is partially destroyed. As now I pan my camera once again to show you, you'll even see parts of a car where some of the fire personnel there are standing. There are parts of a car that is under the rubble, and excavating this manually was nearly impossible. And these are entire houses, and there were sniffer dogs that were used to identify where there could be people trapped inside, where of course they've been able to, of course, get about 20 bodies from this site up until now, and they fear there will be many more under the rubble.
Now, Army has also been involved in the rescue operations. Major General Matthew, the GOC Kerala, has spoken to us in details about the effort being put in by the forces, including about building a temporary Bailey bridge to allow heavy equipment to join the rescue efforts.
Ever since a couple of massive landslides struck Churalmala, Mundukai and surrounding areas, various teams, including that of the Indian Army, have been working tirelessly to rescue and search for as many people as they can. Joining me today is Major General Matthew. He's a commanding officer for Kerala and Karnataka. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us today. If you could take us through how the last couple of days have been, and how difficult has the terrain been, how difficult has the rescue and search operation?
Since the 30th, when this tragic incident occurred, the Indian Army has been working tirelessly. We have mobilized on war footing from various places across South India, from Trivandrum, from Bangalore, from Kannur and Kozhikode, to move here by air and by road, so that we are effective here at the shortest possible time to assist in the rescue and relief operations.
Okay. Now, when we are, looking at today how the efforts are going on, when people look at it, it's been over 3 days now. It's about 3 days after the landslide. Is there any hope that people could still be found alive, or is it predominantly now a search operation that's going to go on?
We are hoping always that people are found alive, because we are still searching with the hope that there would be someone alive under the debris somewhere. So while our efforts are towards going to all areas and searching, our hope is somebody is alive. But as each day passes, the situation looks grimmer and grimmer for the people who are buried under this sand.
As far as information that has been given to you by the state administration and the locals here, how many people do you assume are still missing, or do you have any accurate info on
We do not have the accurate figures. Yesterday the state government has got a list of people who were staying here, but because of the transient nature of the people, some warning was issued, some of them evacuated, some of them were migrant labor. So all of it makes an exact count difficult. The district administration administration is looking at the count. The army as of now are not looking at exactly you may get this figure from the state administration.
Okay. So this Bailey Bridge that has been built, of course, has come a long way in helping move earth movers, heavy equipment on top. Because I was there in Mundukai on the day when there were no earth movers working there. So it became extremely difficult there, of course. So while we look at this bridge now that is standing here, and as we speak, I'm going to ask my video journalist to show this vehicle move. This is being made possible by the efforts of the forces. What do you make of the effort that went in here, considering the terrain, the heavy rain coming down as well?
This is a major effort by the army to make it at the shortest possible time so that the relief and rescue efforts go in unhindered. It was done on war footing. We mobilized from Bangalore, the Madras Engineering Group of Indian Army sent an engineer task force to make this Bailey Bridge, and this was completed by yesterday evening as promised by the army, as undertaken by the army to do it at the shortest possible time.
And also, we also saw the efforts of another bridge before this was constructed. The army also built that one, where of course a lot of rescue teams, material as well was able to be moved in time. All of these efforts, of course, have come a long way. Now, how long will the army continue to be pressed into action, considering now predominantly there are searches going on? Do you feel that right now it will be left to the NDRF and the fire personnel, or will the army continue to be here in action?
As of now, we are split into 10 teams searching sector-wise, along with the NDRF, police, local authorities, volunteers. We are not leaving any area untouched. Army continues to be in full force here as of now, and we will continue till the time the state administration wants our help. That's we cannot put a time frame to it.
Thank you so much, Major General Matthew, for speaking to Time.
Thank you.
Deepak, it has been 3 days already. The death toll has crossed 330. How much longer do you think the rescue operations are going to continue? How many lives are expected to be still trapped, or have the forces managed to establish that everybody has been rescued now?
Well, it's pretty much certain that at least at the site where the landslides have taken place and the adjacent areas, there's no more option of really rescuing people. It is the only option of searching now. It has been over 3 days. It would be a miracle really for anybody to survive under the rubble. But for people, of course, who have their family members missing, even getting a mortal remain to conduct a post-mortem would mean a big deal, and that's the reason the efforts are right now on. The earth movers are working as we speak at Mundukai and neighboring areas. We've just heard that earlier in the day, a few people who voluntarily stayed back in some of their houses very close by to the landslide places were forcibly evacuated because they've been cut off. There could be risk to their health and other reasons. But as far as rescuing people right now under the rubble, that looks very, very bleak, and considering the amount of time that has passed, and more importantly, the damage that that area has sustained. It's an entire house that's under the rubble. So even if they are able to use, of course, earth movers to cut through that debris, it's going to be very difficult to really get somebody out alive, and if they do, it's going to be a miracle. The numbers in terms of deaths are only on the rise. As of now, nearly 200 full bodies have been identified. When I say this, we should note that the death toll at this point in time is only an approximate, because for now they are able to identify a whole body as about 200 deaths, but there are postmortems done of body parts because while the landslide hit, several people were washed away, and some of their body parts have been found about 80 to 90 kilometers from the location even, and it has been spread apart. When they've found these, they're sending them as well for postmortem to identify, do a DNA test, and then notify the family as well. So it's an extensive process that's going on. Exact figures on the death toll probably will have only clarity after about 5 to 6 days. Meanwhile, the state administration says these efforts will continue as far as search operations is concerned. All the teams continue to work. We just heard from the army as well, which says that they're there in full force. They will continue to be here till the state administration needs them. Rahul Gandhi, of course, was here along with his sister Priyanka Gandhi for about a couple of days. He just left a while ago back to Kannur, be flying back to Delhi in all probability. He has announced that the Congress party would be working quite hard here along with their teams, and more importantly would also work towards building about 100 houses for those who have lost theirs in this landslide. An announcement announcements, of course, were made. Right now, for the families, of course, who have lost their homes. The important aspect would be for the government to ensure that they can really rehabilitate them as soon as possible, provide them the best care at the relief camps. We've also been bringing reports from relief camps for our viewers as well. We've seen the kind of facilities that's being made available there too. And more importantly, we should really, give a shout out to the spirit of the locals of Wayanad who have braced several such natural calamities in the past. And one thing that we get to see very often is the unity among them. And from day one, we've seen hundreds of volunteers lining up across the streets, not just at the rescue and the relief sites.
Right.
They're also on the roads ensuring that there is free traffic movement when the ambulances move, and so much efforts really being put in by many volunteer groups and NGOs as well of working here.
All right, and in the middle of all these adversities, even as the odds are stacked against them, we can really hope and pray for some miracles or some more lives that can be rescued.